Hi, my name is Brice Hill, product specialist with Dixie Chopper. I want to take a little time here to talk to you about the Xcaliber series from Dixie Chopper. When you're looking for a highly productive machine that's going to be reliable and stand the test of time, look no further than the Xcaliber. There's a lot of unique features about the Xcaliber, and we're going to start off with the basics, and it all starts with the frame. As you can see, we've got 6 1x2-inch frame rails that are 11 gauge thick. There is not a frame out there on the market today that has got a bigger, beefier frame than the Xcaliber frame. There's 2 deck sizes for the Xcaliber series, the 66-inch and the 74-inch, both powered by a 33-horse Generac engine. And for those of you that want just a little bit more, we also have a 40-horse Kohler powered machine with the 74-inch cut. The fuel capacity for the Xcaliber is 14 gallons, and we've equipped each tank with a large fill neck so there's not any spilling. It's easier access to fill the fuel tanks. Your control panel is right where the operator can get to it. You have your electric deck lift for your deck. This is your toggle switch for it. Key switch, your choke, your PTO to engage your deck, and your tachometer, which also reads your voltage, your battery voltage, and service intervals. And here is your throttle. Now, to give the Xcaliber the best ride we could possibly give it, we've stretched the frame about 3 inches, which helps with the ride. And we've also have standard equipment, the suspension seat that has adjustable armrests. Your lumbar adjusts to your weight, so you're not bottoming out if you're in rough ground. And the machine is also equipped with the Springer forks. Also on the Xcaliber, we have our patented Turf Boss tires. They are a tall sidewall tire. Since we do have a rigid frame, we wanted to give the machine the durability to last for many, many years without compromising the frame. So we don't have walking beams and suspensions. It's a lot of moving parts that you'll have to replace down the road. So what we've done is with the Turf Boss tires, we've got high sidewall. It has a hybrid tread pattern on it to where it acts like a turf tire but has a little bit more aggressive for hanging a hillside. The Springer forks, they flex about 5/8 of an inch. You get more than that, you get into scalping. So with those features, long frame, suspension forks, flotation tires, and the seat, you're going to have the most comfortable ride in the industry without compromising the frame of the machine. Like most of our machines in our lineup, the Xcaliber comes standard with the motorcycle tread tires. And what's nice about these tires is that they are a rounded tire. They're not a squared tire, so it's easier for casting in your yard. If you're trying to go up a slight curb, it will roll up onto the curb better than a square tire would. We use 4 bearings in our front wheels, 2 inners and 2 outers per tire. And the reason why we do this is so you have less breakdowns, and this will last you an extremely long time. Also, on the fork itself, as you can see, we've got a heavy gauge steel fork. This fork has got a lifetime warranty for breakage. And also on your spindle cups, as you can see here, the bearings in this cup have got a lifetime warranty for breakage. And we'll take this apart here so I can show you what's inside. You've got 2 Timken roller bearings, top and bottom. This is the same bearing that you would use in a trailer axle. We have a dust seal on bottom bearing and your 2 races. This is also greasable. So all together, nut, and then we also have a dust cap that goes on top, keeping the grease inside and the dirt out. A feature that we patented many years ago and comes standard on a lot of our equipment today is the OCDC, the Operator Controlled Discharge Chute. There might be areas where you don't want to throw your grass clippings onto a sidewalk or maybe into the flower bed. Simply pull the handle in, lowering the chute down keeps the clippings from flying out. And you can also deflect the debris to let it shoot out as far as you actually want it to. This is also very handy in the fall when you have a lot of leaves. You can lower this down and actually mulch the leaves up a little better. So we've talked about a lot of the features that make the Xcaliber what it is, and we're going to show you that one of the main reasons why the Xcaliber is such a high productive machine, and it's in the deck. Now what we've done with the Xcaliber deck is we have built in a low pressure area in the deck. On a normal deck, all your material is riding in one plane. So when you cut your grass, it's trying to find its way across the deck and out the discharge chute. With the Xcaliber deck, we've created a low pressure area so when the clippings are cut, it's channeling across the deck and getting out as fast as it can. Doing so, when you cut your grass, you're going to see a lot more complete clippings in your yard when it discharges, as opposed with a standard deck where all the material is riding in the same plane. The grass is going to come out and it's going to be chopped up a little bit more, and if you're doing wet grass, it's going to stick because you're chopping it up more. This deck stays amazingly clean, so you don't have to get underneath it and service a lot. Now what we've done also with the low pressure area, we have brought the back two blades in and squeezed them in to give you 2 inches of overlap. And overlap is the overlap of the blades when they're in a parallel position. This is very important. The less amount of overlap you have, the more tendency the deck will have to streak or mohawk. When you're cutting the grass, there's a turbulent area in the deck where the wind's fighting itself. The more overlap cuts that grass cleaner. So 2 inches of overlap, we've got the wind tunnel, and then we've also, the deck is extremely tight on the trim side, and as it moves across, the deck actually opens up more, helping force that material out through the chute. Another feature that we use on standard on the majority of our machines is the X blade. So what I have here is a standard 74-inch X blade. The X blade comes standard on the majority of our products, and what makes this blade unique is it gives you some options. And what I mean by that, as you can see, the blade has got an indentation here. Okay, and right now this comes standard on the machine. It's got a high lift kicker on there, and it's gonna perform well with this setup. Now when fall time comes around, you got a lot of leaves or a yard gets away from you, you need to do some mulching. What you can do is purchase, this is called a twist blade. Okay, and what this blade is it's a virtually flat blade, and it's got a 15-degree twist at the end, and it's sharp on both sides so it can be reused. What you can do is lay your twist blade in with your X blade into that indentation. And what I'm doing here is my twist blade is going to cut a 1/4 inch lower than my standard X blade. So what I'm getting is I'm getting a mulching effect in my deck without having to close the deck off and have grass build up. I'm actually chopping it up the first time I cut it and throwing it out, keeping my deck cleaner and still getting the same effect as a mulching deck. The Xcaliber deck also has adjustable blowout baffles. So if you want to mow extremely high, if you want to mow 5 inches, you want to keep as much vacuum as you can, and you can actually lower this baffle down to help achieve the amount of vacuum that you want. And these can be adjusted at any time. A lot of times in the fall when there's leaves, it gives you more vacuum. Along with the holes in our split V pulley, the Xcaliber comes standard with an additional cooling fan for our spindle housings. This fan increases the cooling capacity and also keeps the deck extremely clean. The Xcaliber deck is a formed and welded deck. It is made entirely in-house. The outer shell is made up of 7-gauge steel, and it has a top reinforcement plate that is also made out of 7-gauge, reinforcing the deck, making it a very durable deck. For complete specs and to see the Xcaliber in action, visit us on the web at DixieChopper.com.